confiscate the money. That girl is a real proud beast. Small world, all her friends know me.
So we are back with another episode of the Reindeer MyLEAGUE here in 2K17. The last episode, went and played another season of the Reindeer MyLEAGUE, and we actually won the NBA Championship once again, back-to-back years under our crew. So the team is doing very well. Obviously, all the drafting we've done has helped out for the best, as most of our players, like I'm pretty sure there's a few bench players over 80 overall, including Paul Strickland, Sharif O'Neal, and the crew. So I mean, everyone's developing well, everyone's playing well. Josh Jackson playing like better than ever before, DeAndre Ayton playing very well, and we also have Kemba Walker who's stepping up tremendously. Kemba Walker, in his early seasons with the Reindeer, he really wasn't playing all that well. In fact, like, he wasn't really the guy I wanted him to be, basically an assist monster, almost like Nick Cheeks in the Cincinnati Stingers MyLEAGUE. But now he's eventually developing into that role, and now he's dishing out assists almost like tons every game. He's doing very well for the team and helping us score some more points. But a team, that's what it is right there. In power rankings, we're first and second, tied with Philadelphia, so I guess we're evenly matched with the Philadelphia 76ers this year in terms of talent. So Ben Simmons maybe challenging DeAndre Ayton and the crew for maybe the NBA championship this year, because they have a great team though. If I look at the roster, they have a great overall team, matches almost in talent in every single position, including point guard, shooting guard, and even like power forward though too. They have Ben Simmons at small forward / power forward, so they have a great lineup there. But right now we're 32-6, not too bad of a record right there. Obviously in this MyGM, or at least this MyLEAGUE, I want to go and try and beat the NBA record, which is the Warriors record of 73-9. So hopefully we can do that in the next few seasons. But right now we're 39-8, looking very closer and closer to not breaking that record this season. Obviously, as right now you cannot do that. You can't win like 40 games in a row without losing one. So right now we're 41-8. We're not doing that bad. The Pelicans are second in the Western Conference, just pretty weird. And the Mavs are third right now. So the Mavs, I guess they got better here. But here's your All-Stars this season right now. Our team is doing very well, but there's Markelle Fultz on the East right there. A few 76ers there, but you finally have DeAndre Ayton this season as an All-Star. So finally we get a nomination there, but guess what? No Josh Jackson, no Kemba Walker or anything. But Kenny Knight, our rookie shooting guard, is on, I believe, the slam dunk contest right there. But Kenny Knight also on the stars contest there. Plus, we do have Neil Horsley too. So I guess our backup of a backup point guard, our prospect point guard, is doing decent, I guess, in the NBA. But right now, second is DeAndre Ayton in MVP versus Ben Simmons. But right now, second is Kenny Knight in Rookie of the Year. When it comes to sixth man, we have Tyler Ulis. First is DeAndre Ayton in Defensive Player of the Year, and third is Malachi Richardson in Most Improved. So right now you have Luau and Josh Jackson out with injury, but right now you got to re-sign some players. So we re-sign Sharif O'Neal. Luau, obviously going to re-sign him. He's a great bench player. We would re-sign Malachi, and we got to try and re-sign Kemba Walker to $30 million per year. He's doing very well. He deserves that contract right now. But Kenny Knight, 15 points in that Rookie Stars contest, pretty good there. He does not win the slam dunk contest though. But DeAndre Ayton, obviously All-Star MVP there in the All-Star game. Now starting off the last half of the season, just going to go and push to be the best team. I guess we're almost guaranteed to be the best team in the West right now. The record is 65-10. Nobody's going to touch us, as we're going to go, I believe, 72-10 in the season once again, as DeAndre Ayton is your MVP this season. First time MVP. No Kenny Knight for Rookie of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year is DeAndre Ayton once again for 3 years in a row now. And Papagiannis is Most Improved. So I guess a great overall season when it comes to awards. But also Greg Popovich is your Coach of the Year. Finally, the 72-10 record. He finally gets Coach of the Year, but finally DeAndre Ayton is on an All-NBA team. Obviously, if you're MVP, you're guaranteed to be on the All-NBA first team, so he finally gets on there, as we usually get disrespected when it comes to the awards, when it comes to the All-NBA teams, but no Josh Jackson right now on all the NBA teams. All defensive first team, we do have DeAndre Ayton, obviously, as MVP and DPOY this season, and All-Star game MVP too. So we also have Kenny Knight on the All-Rookie first team, along with Kurt Norris and Corey Bryant, the three trio coming from that draft last year, which is one of the best drafts I've seen in a long time. But right now, here's your season stats for the season. We had a great season overall. If you have a 72-10 record, you're guaranteed to be, it's a great season overall. We want to go and break the record next season, but right now, perfect record for this team. Everyone stepped up though, even though Josh Jackson was out with injury for a ton of weeks there. Obviously, we probably would have gone and broken that record if Josh Jackson had not gotten injured. But right now we're going to face the Utah Jazz in the first round. The Jazz, they have no injuries. We have 3 major injuries. DeAndre Ayton will probably not be playing until the NBA Finals, the 6 to 8 week injury there. But we take game 1 of the Utah Jazz series. Kemba 29 points in that game. Sharif O'Neal 28 in that one. So Sharif really coming into his own there, playing very well in relief of DeAndre Ayton. But game 2 we take game 2 to go up 2-0 here as Jackson 26 points, Jokic 18 and 12 there for a double-double, and even AJ Hammond's coming off the bench with a double-double there in rebounds and points. So great game by AJ Hammond. Now game 3, we take game 3 to go up 3-0 here. A big one, 140-115 final there as Caldwell Pope steps up, 26 points in that one, as AJ Hammonds plays another great game again. Now game 4, trying to go and sweep the Utah Jazz in the first round. It's pretty automatic, 125-106 final as we sweep the Utah Jazz, move on to semis once again. So Jokic 13-14 for a double-double there, as we had a great overall game. Obviously everyone stepped up in relief of DeAndre Ayton and a few of the players that were injured obviously in this playoff so far. But now we're going to face off against the Golden State Warriors here in the semifinals. Their team is kind of downgraded, I guess, ever since they blew that 3-1 lead against us in the WCF. So right now, only injuries are KJ McDaniels for the Warriors and DeAndre Ayton for the Reindeer here. But game 1, we take game 1 to go up 1-0 here is 30-10 performance by Jokic and Neal a double-double there, as we have tons of double-doubles in that game. I can't even count how many there is. But game 2, you take game 2 to go up 2-0 here in this series. Kemba with 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. And that one is Jokic and O'Neal tie for double-doubles there too. So Kevin Durant played well in that game, but game 3, we take game 3 to go up 3-0 here is Kevin Durant 25 points, 11 rebounds for double-double there. But Jokic 19 points, and all our players basically stepped up in that game in order to get that W. Now, so moving on to game 4 of the semifinals here against the Golden State Warriors. We're trying to go sweep back-to-back series here, and we do 121-80 final. We move on to the WCF. So we sweep back-to-back series here against the Jazz and the Warriors here as Steph Curry puts up 20 points, but look, Kevin Durant and Will Barton both get injured in the last game. And now we're 8-0 on the playoffs here. So going on to face the Denver Nuggets here in the Western Conference Finals. So Jokic obviously has some ties to Denver. He was unprotected in the draft. He went to the Reindeer just based on they didn't protect him in the expansion draft. And now he's facing his former team here in the WCF. As we take game 1 here of the WCF here, Kim Walker puts up 40 points in the game, 14 for 20, shooting very efficient there. As Rodney Hood puts up a decent amount of points for the Nuggets. But game 2, they take this one of all the teams against the Reindeer, and now it's 1-1 series here in the WCF here. As Murray puts up 23 points in that game for the Denver Nuggets. And now moving on to game 3 of the WCF, we take this one 2-1 here now in this series. As Murray puts up 31 points for the Denver Nuggets. Josh Jackson 25 and 10 there, and Sharif O'Neal 15 and 13 there for a double-double. The plus, Jokic puts up 10 and 13 there for a double-double there too. But now game 4, we take this one big, 149-109 final. Now we put up a 3-1 series lead here as Sharif O'Neal puts up 28 points in that game. A great game at a Sharif. As now we have in the stranglehold position here, trying to go and finish him off. And we do 119-96 final. Moving on to the NBA Finals here for about the 3rd year in a row now. So we're doing very good here as we moved on to the NBA Finals here. Trying to go and get a 3-peat here. Obviously we won the championship back-to-back years so far. Now moving on to trying to go and face off against the best team in the East, the Philadelphia 76ers. Those Sixers, they're an evenly matched team, I guess, considering their starting lineup. They have a great point guard, obviously a great small forward there in Ben Simmons, but we do have injuries though, so they could probably take us at least 1 or 2 games here in the finals. As we win this one, somehow win game 1, 106-104 final here. Kemba puts up 25 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists in that one. So without DeAndre Ayton, plus Nikola Jokic is out with an injury. So Jokic, he somehow got injured in that game, but Ben Simmons 19 points, 15 rebounds in that game for a double-double there. The 76ers played well, but game 2 still in the North Pole here. They're going to take a 2-0 lead here, but they take it that one to make it a 1-1 series here in the finals. Kim Walker 18 points, 10 assists for a double-double there, as we somehow go and lose that one, but it looks like Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons had a great combo there. Triple-double for Ben Simmons here. As now we're moving on to game 3 of the NBA Finals here. We're in Philadelphia for the first time. And we take this one 120-104 final here as Kevin puts 25 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists in that one, and Kenny Knight 19 points in that one too. So at least your team's playing very well. Our backup's playing very well for the injured starters here. Ben Simmons puts up 17 points and 18 rebounds for a double-double there. As moving on to game 4 of the finals, take this one big 148-134 final here as Kezu's back. DeAndre Ayton's back, 24 points, 13 rebounds for a double-double there as we finally go and get back our MVP, our power forward, DeAndre Ayton. So we finally have a starter back in the lineup here, as maybe this changes practically everything for this series, as we could probably go and win the finals all once again for a 3-peat here, as we're moving on to, I believe, game 5 of the NBA Finals. You're trying to go and take this one in the North Pole for another championship here, as we're going into the dying minutes of the 4th quarter here with a 3-point lead for the 76ers. We actually take the lead with 2 minutes left, but the 76ers reclaim the lead with the last minute, and they go and win this one. 124-122 final there. 2-point win for them as Kevin puts up 32 points there in that loss against 76ers there at home. So we lose the one by a nail-biter here as Joel Embiid, the process, 22 points, 14 boards there for double-double there, plus a Ben Simmons triple-double. Now we're moving on to game 6 of the NBA Finals. You're trying to go and get our 3-peat here of championships.
Nikola Jokic, here's smooth. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. And they've done it, the new NBA champions. What a moment it is right now to see the team who played so well together enjoying, Clark, this NBA championship moment.
Well, Kevin, it's awesome to be here to witness what happened tonight.
And seeing this team come together over the course of the season and on into the playoffs, what a joy. I mean, there is no better champion the league could have asked for.
And a pleasure here at 2K Sports to be with you all season long. Good night, everyone.
So your North Pole Reindeer Championships once again as we get a 3-peat here against 76ers here in Game 6 of the finals. So we had a great overall series, great overall season, 72-10 once again. We win another championship under Greg Popovich. So 8 and 25 points, 16 boards there for a double-double there as Kemba Walker puts up 23 points and an over 10 assists there for a double-double there. So Reindeer Championships once again as Kemba Walker is your finals MVP. So obviously it would have been DeAndre Ayton, but he came back way too late as Kemba Walker gets finals MVP. So he re-signed him. He gets finals MVP. Great overall season for Kemba Walker and his Reindeer. So Kemba Walker, great overall season for him. Plus, Shareef O'Neal played very well in the playoffs or in relief for injured power forward in DeAndre Ayton. So it's basically all due to Shareef O'Neal and Kemba Walker is why we won this one. But your retirees, we do have LaMarcus Aldridge, we have Rudy Gay, and we have Timofey Mozgov on there too, a former Reindeer himself. So we do have a few former Reindeer on here that we did have a few seasons ago, obviously like Timofey Mozgov on there. And we have LaMarcus Aldridge on here who was not a Reindeer, but he came back and played one last season for Portland in his career. So it's a great season seeing him going to the free agency, obviously going back to Portland there at the end. It's always great to see that. Paul Millsap also does retire too in as a Cavs there too, and plus Rudy Gay retires as a Cavs too, so back-to-back retirees from the Cavs. But rules change, we do have the number of fouls fouled out to 7 now. As we're moving on to the draft lottery, we do like about, I think, 1 pick or 2 in that one. But the draft lottery thing has changed now that only the top 7 picks are only considered for the lottery. As the Hawks get the first overall pick, second is the Celtics, and third is your Rockets. So I guess it's somewhat of a decent draft lottery. We really didn't get too many big picks. We get the 14th overall pick, and we did the 23rd and the 31st overall pick. So 3 picks in the first round. Let's get right into this 2023 NBA draft.
With the first pick in the NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Terrence Webster from the University of Connecticut. With the second pick in the NBA draft, the Boston Celtics select Theodore Winnington from the University of Connecticut. We have a trade to announce. With the third pick in the NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select Dwayne Hollins from the University of Florida. With the fourth pick in the NBA draft, the Los Angeles Clippers select Jawan Booth from Northwestern University. With the fifth pick in the NBA draft, the Miami Heat select Louis Atkins from the University of Arizona. We have a trade to announce. With the 6th pick in the NBA draft, the Utah Jazz select the 21-year-old small forward from the University. The 14th pick in the NBA draft, Jeffrey Rivers from Marquette University. The 23rd pick in the NBA draft, Jonathan Morrison from San Diego State University. The 31st pick in the NBA draft, the 22-year-old power forward from the University of Florida.
So it's easily one of the worst drafts I've ever seen. Look at these overall, 77 overall for the first overall pick, that's pretty good. Then we do have the 9th overall pick who's 77 overall, but the rest, there's nobody who's really that good, I guess. There's probably a lot of great potential guys on here, probably like A- potential, but other than that, no really NBA prospects besides the 1st and the 9th overall picks there for this draft. So this draft pretty weak. Obviously we did end up picking some decent players overall like Morrison. I'm pretty sure he could probably develop into something with that 3-point shot as a center, so Morrison could have some potential in the future. I have no idea. Maybe if you go just to keep applying that untapped potential, maybe you may be able to go and develop into something just like Gar Snow in the Stingers franchise. So next up, we do have a few other guys who drafted. They're pretty weak, but Webster goes 1st overall. He seems like he'd be something good in the future, but 2nd overall pick, 68 overall. We had a better guy at like 14th spot. As we move on to the option summary, we do extend our option to Paul Strickland. But other than that, declined options, we do have Markelle Fultz, Dennis Smith Jr., obviously. Those guys probably get re-signed, but Caldwell Pope is our free agent. We go and try and re-sign Caldwell Pope there. We also have Pascal Siakam, a great player coming off the bench in the playoffs. We do have Kay Felder, our 3rd point guard, trying to go and re-sign him too. So you offer contracts to all 3 of them. As your free agents are Markelle Fultz, Dennis Smith Jr., Jamal Murray, Caldwell Pope, Brown, Solinger, Diallo, and so on. So pretty decent free agency class, but we cannot sign anybody due to us being over the hard cap. So you cannot sign anybody, so you go and let go of Caldwell Pope and Pascal Siakam, as that is your team for the next year in the Reindeers. So we have a lot of great players, or 80 overall players still on the bench. So anyway, guys, on this episode off here. Make sure to subscribe for more Reindeer MyLEAGUE, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.